Dr. James Okafor is one of the smartest people you'll ever meet. Top of his class, board certified, 12 years of training. In 2019, he signed a contract. He read the salary, he read the benefits, he skimmed the rest. 3 years later, he found his dream job. Better pay, better hours, better fit. His hospital said, "Go ahead, we can't stop you." But four sentences in that contract could. He couldn't practice within 30 miles of that hospital for 2 years. In the city where he lived, where his kids went to school, where every patient he'd built a relationship with was waiting. He didn't lose his license. He didn't make a mistake in the OR. He lost 2 years of his career to four sentences he read in 30 seconds. And the worst part? He's not the exception. He's the rule. Here's what nobody tells you about physician employment contracts. They're not written for you. They're written by a legal team that does this every single day for an institution that signs hundreds of these contracts a year. You sign one, maybe two in your career, and psychologists have a name for what happens next. It's called optimism bias, the deeply human tendency to believe that bad outcomes happen to other people, not to us. We're careful. We're smart. We read people for a living. But optimism bias is strongest in high-performing people. The same confidence that makes a great physician, the ability to stay calm under pressure, to make fast decisions, to trust your own judgment. That same confidence walks right past four sentences that will define the next 2 years of your life. James didn't skip the clause because he was careless. He skipped it because he couldn't imagine it ever being used against him. Most physicians can't. So what is a non-compete clause, really? 3 numbers, that's it. 3 numbers buried in legal language that most people never translate into real life. The radius, how many miles from your workplace you can't practice. Could be 10, could be 30. In a dense city, 15 miles covers everything. The duration, how long after you leave. 1 year, 2 years, some say 3. The buyout, the price of your freedom. Some contracts let you leave, if you pay, $50,000, $75,000, $150,000. James's numbers, 25 miles, 2 years, $75,000. Draw a 25-mile circle around a hospital in any major American city. That circle covers most of where people actually live, most of where their patients are, most of where competing practices exist. Now imagine sitting across from your family and explaining that you can either pay $75,000 to keep your job opportunity or move everyone you love outside that circle. Or wait, 2 years. James waited. Same city, same specialty, same year. Dr. Sarah Chen received an offer from the same hospital system 1 month after James. She almost signed the same day. Then a colleague, someone who'd been burned before, said 4 words. Get an attorney first. She almost didn't. It felt excessive, paranoid, like showing up to a first date with a prenuptial agreement. That feeling has a name too. It's called status quo bias, the pull toward doing what everyone else does. And what everyone else does is sign. She spent $800, 1 hour with a physician contract attorney. The attorney found the same clause, 25-mile radius, 2-year duration, $75,000 buyout. And then she negotiated. Hospitals expect this. Their first offer is not their final offer. The legal team builds in room. What feels like a fixed document is a starting point. Sarah's final contract, 10-mile radius, 1 year, no buyout. 3 years later, a better opportunity appeared, same as James. Sarah started her new job in 30 days. James sat in his house, 26 miles from the hospital he'd left, watching 2 years of his career become a waiting room. $800. That's the entire financial distance between those two outcomes. Not talent, not luck. $800 in one phone call. 3 things, do them in order. First, find your contract today. Not this weekend, today. Look for the words non-compete, restrictive covenant, or post-termination restrictions. Write down 3 numbers: your radius, your duration, your buyout. If you can't find all 3 in the next 10 minutes, that's your answer. Second, before you sign anything new, pay a physician contract attorney to review it, not a general lawyer, someone who does this specifically. They know what's negotiable. They know what hospitals actually enforce. They know what courts in your state have thrown out. The cost is $500 to $1,500. The cost of not doing it can be measured in years. Third, know your state. California, Minnesota, North Dakota. Several states have dramatically restricted non-compete enforcement for physicians. Some have near total bans. If you're in one of those states, the clause may already be unenforceable, but you still need to know it's there. Here's the behavioral trap to watch for. The relief of getting the offer makes everything else feel like details. Your brain is flooded with dopamine. You've been waiting for this. The salary looks right. The title looks right. The clause is 4 sentences, and it's on page 11. That's exactly when it gets you. The offer is designed to feel like the finish line. It isn't. It's the negotiating table. James eventually found his dream job, 2 years later than he should have. He told me the hardest part wasn't the waiting, it was knowing that the clause was 4 sentences, that he'd read them, that he hadn't stopped. You now know what those 4 sentences mean. Next video, what physicians should actually do with their money, in priority order, starting from day 1 of attending life. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.